How's it going? Rich Bonaducci here with another weird, goofy project that you may or may not want to do to your own drums. I recently saw that the Tama Silverstar series, which I don't even think they make anymore, it was an all birch line, had the inside of the shells stained. And it was a nice dark stain. I liked it very much. And when you had drums that had clear heads on the bottom, you could kind of see through it from the audience perspective and see what it looked like. I just thought it looked really classy. I liked it. So I thought, I wonder if I could do that to my Superstar Classics. And yeah, you can. So I tried it out first on a snare drum because I thought if it doesn't look good, no one's really gonna see the bottom of my snare drum. No one's gonna care. But it ended up looking great. So I decided to do it to the rest of the kit, and boy, howdy, I think it looks fantastic. Look at that. See if I get some light in there. See that? It looks really nice. I get some light in there for you. Right? Really, you can see the grain really well. Looks great. So what I decided to do, because these are orange sparkle, is to get something that sort of complemented the orange. This is called it's called Gunstock. This is Gunstock, which is a lighter sort of tone. At first, I tried using brushes. They're kind of a cheapo brush that you can buy. You can buy a pack of 10 of them for like $1, and doing the brush on the inside. It was fine, but that did have a lot of sort of flicky spray coming up on me, on my shirts, anything that was around. That's why I'm wearing this. And so I decided to not do that. Then I grabbed a paper towel, which was much easier to control the stain and put it in there. But it does tend to fall apart. So I just grabbed one of these, happens to be orange, which helps, but one of these like mechanics rags. Again, you can buy a bag of them for almost nothing, and it's great. You just kind of dip it in there, it soaks it up a little bit, and then you can really control where it goes, and even how hard to press, and how good the stain is. It just goes on really easily. It goes on nicely. Now, you might notice that I have not taken the hardware off. That's because for the first 2 times that I did this on other shells, I did take the hardware off. It's a lot more work, and it didn't really make that much of a difference. No one's ever gonna know unless you take the hardware off and notice little light circles on the inside, which I don't think anyone's gonna even do, much less care about, but it was a lot more work. So again, I tried with the rag, not taking them off. And it was fine. You get close to it, and there's a little ring around the inside, because you can't quite, when you're just rubbing, you can't quite get up to it. But then, if you just press against it a little bit, the cloth goes around, and it seals it really well. It gets all around the inside, and looks like you've taken everything off, which again, you will never know unless you go and take everything off, which, who cares? You're only going to put it back on again. No one's going to know. So it saves a lot of work. But you might be thinking, yeah, but those black things, and maybe mine are chrome, it's going to pick up the color of the stain. It's not going to look very good. That is true. After I tried it that first time, 2 things happened. One, these nice looking black nuts and bolts and washers and things did take on a different hue from the stain, and I didn't like that. And I had spilled some stain on the outside of the drum. It had gone down here. I didn't notice. I had stain on the outside of this drum, and I didn't notice, and it dried. So what I ended up buying was some of those miracle erasers, those white miracle erasers. Thought I'd try that first before turpentine and things like that, and thinners that might damage the drum or whatnot. And you don't even actually add any cleaning solution to the miracle erasers. They have some kind of cleaning solution in them. You just get them wet. And you don't even need to get them that wet, especially if you want to control dripping. I have some newspaper and stuff down here, and there's hardly a mark on them because with this, it really controls it. But, so I just dabbed a corner of it in water, and went in here and rubbed on it, came right off. Came right off of all those things really quickly, really easily. And then I dabbed a little bit more water, put it on the sides, took it right off. Now, I don't know how that would be if you have wood stain on the outside. That will be bad. My suggestion would be, if you have wood stain and you don't want to get anywhere close to it, just come up here and do the edge. Just like that, and leave that go. No one's going to see it anyway with your drum head and your rim on. But with me having a wrap, I end up going around and doing that and making it look uniform. By the way, I ended up taking apart one of those Tama Silverstars just to see how far up the stain went on the inside and the outside. The stain stops on the inside at the edge, so they don't even bother with the outside of it at all. Probably because they stained the inside first and then put the wrap on the outside. And they didn't want the wrap to maybe not stick to a stained surface. So they just didn't do it. It just stops at the edge like that. So feel free to do that if you end up staining the inside of your drums to kind of complement the finish. Even if it's stained, you don't have to worry about getting stain on it. But if you have a wrap and you end up getting some stain on the outside of it, either by drippage or you have it on your hand and you kind of get it on there when you're moving it around, as you see that I'm doing, you can just take it off with one of those magic erasers, even if it dries. Because like I say, I totally missed it. It dried the next day. I went, oh no, and I was like, no, I did this to make it look better. And I got it, came right off. It came right off. And again, didn't have to worry about any kind of turpentine or thinners or stains or anything, getting everything else off. Nicely enough, when I went in with the white magic eraser and just went like that around the screws and things, it didn't affect the stain at all. So I guess the stain was good in there in the wood, and the chemicals that it was using to clean with weren't going to take stain off of wood anyway. But because stain doesn't adhere to metal very well, it came right off. Some of you might be thinking, well, that's an extra step and it's more work. Wouldn't it be easier to just take them off entirely and then put them back on? Because I'm me, I timed it. And depending on how many you've got, it actually still saves you time to just not take them off and just wipe them down really quickly afterwards. It does come right off, so it's not that big of a deal. So here's what it looks like. I'm just doing the top part that I can easily reach here. So you can see, the difference. Yeah, get some light in there. Look at that. So that's the difference, and that's what it looks like. I think it looks great, and I know it looks really good because on the other drums that I've already done this to, I already put the heads back on, and on the batter side I have a white coated Evans something or other, and when light shows through it, it still gets light in the drum, and on the bottom is a clear Evans resonant, and you can see up inside of the drum really well, the top ones anyway. And it looks really cool from the audience's perspective. I was thinking, I'm not even going to do these. No one sees up inside of your floor tom, but I just did it because I'm a bit of a completist. And I thought, you know, if I ever was going to sell this kit, which I doubt, they probably want it to match. So I thought I was changing heads out anyway. Now is a good time to do it. I'll just get it done. But anyway, that's pretty much all it is. It's just an interesting idea to make your drums look even a little bit better like that. For as I say, these pictures that you can see here, I think it looks pretty classy. I really like it. But my suggestion, again, would be to use, you know, something like this, maybe one of those little foams, or again, one of these maintenance rags, and do it this way rather than a brush. I don't think you have to take the hardware off, But if you are staining the inside of a drum that is already stained, like a lacquer cover on the outside, I would be really careful with the edge. Maybe just do the inside of it. Don't even do the bearing edge like that. Or if you want just the bearing edge, whatever, because it does show on your side. But no one's going to see that, and you won't get it anywhere near your lacquer. However, again, if you've got a wrap, you can just do that. And if you did get some on here, that's okay. You can take it off with the magic eraser later. There you go. Yet another goofy drum project. I've got more coming. Thanks for watching.